part of day 2 for unit 3B. We are looking at parallelogram properties. So in this picture, we're going to identify opposite sides are parallel. And we mark, that's the symbol for parallel, opposite sides are parallel. So we're going to mark this with AD is parallel to BC with the arrows. AB is parallel to DC with the arrows. Okay. So now let's also notice that opposite sides are congruent. Congruent means they're equal, so we're going to put little dash marks on the line to show that these opposite sides here are equal. We also have opposite angles are equal. Are congruent, whatever you want to say, congruent are equal. So like angle A is opposite angle C, and angle D is opposite angle B, and they are congruent. The next one I'm going to write down relates to the lines being parallel. We learned in Unit 1 that if opposite sides are parallel here, or these are parallel lines, these angles like B and C are considered consecutive interior angles. They're between the parallel lines and on the same side of the transversal. You could also say because this line and this line are parallel, D and C are also consecutive angles between there. And so we learned in that unit consecutive angles are supplementary. And supplementary means they add up to 180 degrees. Okay? So opposite are equal, consecutive are supplementary. The last one we're going to do is we're going to draw in some diagonals in this picture. Diagonals connect opposite corners. So we're going to draw a diagonal from B to D. And we're going to draw a diagonal from A to C. And the thing about diagonals in a parallelogram, diagonals bisect each other. Okay, so bisect means cuts in half. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to say this point in the middle, let's just call it point E here. So basically we're going to say like AE is congruent to EC. And the same thing the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could say DE is congruent to EB. So basically diagonals bisect each other, creating these two are equal, and then those two are equal. The diagonals themselves are not equal, so that's why I put different numbers here of lines versus numbers on this line. Okay? So let's use these properties that we have listed at the top to find the missing angles and sides in these parallelograms. Find specific measurements. So in this picture, UT is opposite RS. So UT should be 27. ST is opposite 18. So ST is 18. VS is on a diagonal. So these two diagonals are congruent. Those parts are bisected. So that makes, if this is 7, that is also 7. You'll notice the diagonal that has VT on it doesn't have any numbers. So sometimes they put numbers outside the picture and you have to look for it. This says the diagonal RT is 30. So VT is going to be half of that, 15. Because the diagonals bisect, which means it's half of the whole thing. Okay, now we're going to look at this one. AD is opposite 8. DC is opposite 15. Angle A is opposite angle C, and we don't have any numbers there. So, angle B and D are opposite. We have to figure out how do we find the missing angle. And so what this goes back to, if we don't have opposite angles, we have what is called consecutive angles. Consecutive angles add up to 180. So we're going to take 180 minus 68 to figure out angle A. So that is 112. So angle A is going to be 112. So angle C is also 112, because those are opposite angles of each other, and both consecutive with the 68. Alright, the next one, these include some algebra. This says what property is used. So you're going to look at the top of the page. In this picture, we have A and C. So I'm going to say opposite angles are congruent. So we're going to set them equal to each other to solve. So you're going to subtract x to the other side. So minus 4 gives me 2x. If I add the 15 to this side, it's 26. I'm going to divide by 2. X equals 13. This one wants us to go further. It says find angle B. Unfortunately, there's nothing at angle B. So we're going to plug it, like let's say we plug it into this angle A. So if we plug it in here, 6 times 13 minus 15 is 63 degrees. But we still need to find angle B. So to find angle B, you take 180 minus 63, because they are supplementary. So that equals 117 is the measure of angle B. Alright, the next one, P and Q are not opposite angles. P and Q are called consecutive angles. And at the top of the page, the property listed is consecutive angles are supplementary. And I didn't have enough room in my box, so I wrote it down here. Remember, supplementary means 180 degrees. So we're going to add these two together instead of setting them equal. And combine your like terms, you get 11x. Negative 12 plus 5 is negative 7. Add the 7 over. 11x would equal 187, and now we're going to divide by 11. So x equals 17. This one says plug back into angle R. Well, there's nothing at angle R, so it looks like P and R are opposite angles, so I'm going to plug it into angle P. So 3 times 17 plus 5. 3 times 17 plus 5 is 56. So the measure of angle R equals 56 degrees. Okay, next we are going to look at rectangles.